And so it begins. In the bottom right-hand corner of Golden Aura Ladder Edition, it is Abathoor. Opponent at the top left-hand side, playing for no one but himself, and with no name, he is the Nameless King. Alrighty then, let's zoom out and have a better look at what's happening. Low ground wall up, as to be expected. You can get away with that sort of thing, so you do. And at this point, the main thing we need to check out is what's being built next to it. And also, actually, we're probably not going to see a cannon rush, because if we were going to see a cannon rush, the probe would need to be on its way already. But no, he is going to go and scout. And it's a gateway. Okay, that's fine. I was just thinking that's not a forge, is it? It's not a forge. No. The natural's going to go down without any interruption, because you have to go out early to interrupt. And yeah, so Abathoor's pretty much on track for his standard start. We'll see a gas and a pool. And then things will proceed as normal from there. Once we've seen that, once the Protoss player finds out, once Nameless King knows that his opponent isn't choosing him and doesn't have Zerglings on the build already, we will see him put his Naxos down, because he can afford to do that. I guess we'll see what happens with that. And again, this is all good for Nameless King. He's getting to see all the things that he needs to see. He's getting to see everything his opponent's doing, and he's not really in any danger of losing this probe just yet. Obviously, once the pool finishes, then he needs to leave, because the probe is not very useful at that point, and he can just run it behind whatever, probably adepts he makes back at home. Which is why we haven't seen him build anything yet. Like, he could, in theory, wall himself in and make a zealot. But right now, this is a game of efficiency, and right now, actually, Nameless King doesn't need to do anything at all. Like, he just doesn't need to do it. Abathoor's there, done. Doesn't quite have the gas for speed yet, so there's an optimization that could be made there, but that's fine. Yeah, just steal the minerals and leave. And we're seeing a follow-up of a Stargate, which is, again, perfectly normal tech. It's basically where I imagine we'll see an Oracle, maybe a Phoenix or two to clear the thing out. Oh, he's sacrificing this probe for some reason. Maybe he's going to try and build a pylon before it dies so he can stop the third going down. Nope, not a chance. Okay. Now, at some point, this Overlord is going to get killed. The question is, what's going to do it? He's either going to make a Stalker, or he's going to make something out of this Stargate. Possibly the second thing out of the Stargate, if you go with an Oracle first. But right now, the Zerg is doing that thing where they loft a Space Cow into your base. And they see everything, because Space Cows. Also just checking for thirds. Very nice. This one knows there's no third here. This one knows there's no third here. And as soon as you build the base, they can just recall the Zergling in question. And you might not even realise they were ever there in the first place. But now, right now, what we're seeing here is, A, Abathoor can see that his opponent is making that, and B, he can see what it is, because you can see the shape of it. So he knows he's going up against an Oracle, so he knows he needs these pylons down, these Spore Crawlers down. And therefore, he's just going to press the macro button. Now he's got the Spore Crawlers in place. You're probably still going to lose a worker or two. But, honestly, meh. With the Spore Crawler there, the damage is going to be relatively limited. And I'm also glad to see that Abathoor has started to put his Spore Crawlers in his mineral line. I remember giving him some stick about that back in the day. Third base going down, which Abathoor knows is happening because the Zergling was guarding it, is dead. Ring around the rosy, and he dies. Oh well. The thing is, right now, Abathoor doesn't care. Abathoor knows his opponent's macroing, so he's going to macro too. He's getting himself more queens, because with more queens, he can spread more creep. And with more creep, he can be, well, I mean, A, faster to react to stuff, and B, he can see more. But right now, the big thing is going to be this pair of oracles here coming in. And again, they're going to be limited success. They won't be able to just sit there and blast away at the entire mineral line, because there's a Spore Crawler in town, and the Spore Crawler will shoot them out of the sky faster than you'd really want to have happen. Plus, there is a Queen at the top here, which means that there will be damage incoming before they even hit the workers, unless they go right the way around. And it doesn't look like that's what they're doing. Oh no, the Queen pulls away at exactly the wrong moment. That is, in fact, the most unfortunate timing in the history of timing. The thing is, right now, Abathoor can see everything. He can see the Twilight Council doing something, which is either...
The enemy has discovered us.
There you go. 4 workers went down. Even so, Abathoor's just making more. And he's pulled the ladies back. They hiked up their skirts and they ran back. Oh, a couple of stalkers just to get rid of that thing. The problem is, it's kind of revealed everything it was going to reveal anyway. And actually, this observer here is incredibly useful. Because what's going to happen is, he's going to be able to clear some of this creep. Which is actually, Abathoor is not terrible at this creep shenanigans. And yes, the oracles can do this, but it's a waste of their energy, really. It's rather converting instead of killing probes with it, which I think we've acknowledged that they can't realistically do at this point. Oh, that was a bit close to the wind. That was a little bit tight. And yeah, he's recalling them. There's no way he's letting those guys die. This observer, on the other hand, is potentially not going to die. It's just going to sit somewhere useful and be there. Yeah, it's just going to sit and go whoop and turn into a static turret. And what can it see? Yeah, various bits and bobs up to and including the Baneling nest, which is actually quite nice, and also evidence of a 4th base, which he does not technically know about, but he's seen workers going in that direction and in numbers, so he knows it's there. He knows his opponent has a 4th base, and he knows his opponent has a 5th base because he's trying to kill it with oracles. Not gonna lie, they are not the best at this. They are not the greatest of base killers. But it is damage, damage is damage, and damage is damage, and you can't heal a building until it's finished building. I think. I don't think the queens can transfuse that base until it's finished. I mean, once it's done, they can transfuse the hell out of it. But like, oh no, he went for the snipe on that creep teamer, and didn't have any energy left. The thing is, right now, Abathoor's got 84 workers to his opponent's 59, which is a sizable economic advantage. The army supply, I mean, NameLessKing is in favour, but, like, Abathoor's got the economy to make a massive thing. And actually, the number of zealots being made over here is a little bit questionable, partly because we know Abathoor has banelings and they're going to have speed. Do they have speed? Not yet, but they will. There it is, in fact. We're seeing rogue speed coming up. Basically, Abathoor is getting to do whatever the hell he really wants to do at this point, and that means he's got basically full saturation on 5 bases. Which is terrifying. He's got too many workers. This is too much economy, Abathoor. Calm down. Stop going crazy. Your opponent's going to kill you because you won't have an army because you'll... He is, however, going for melee upgrades rather than range upgrades, which is a bit of an interesting one, given that he's making both roaches and hydralisks. They're basically going to be unupgraded roach hydra. Oh, no, he's just making the attack upgrades. Oh my goodness, I just realised that. I looked at the thing and saw... and didn't see. Goodness me. Also, I love this Baneling skin. Oh, we've got some kitten attention. Yes, we have. Well, kitten will have to wait. In come the zealots to clear out some stuff. And the Banelings need to go in against these guys because that's what they are designed to do. Yeah, kitten. Oh, that's a lot of damage. Yeah, that's how you kill a zealot army. That right there is how you kill an army full of zealots. And yeah, just splash damage alone. The problem is the zealots will run into the splash damage and get themselves killed in numbers, which is why Abathoor is now ahead in every metric, except possibly the upgrades. Like, this game isn't over, but it's going to be difficult for NameLessKing to do anything now, given Abathoor. What the hell is this? Why are you making 17 workers, my guy? What is this? Oh, it's a kitten. Ooh, it's a kitten. Right. Definitely going to show some kitten action if he's still here when I get back to the camera. But, yeah, this Protoss army is not that big and it's not that powerful. He's got an advantage at the moment in upgrades, and he's going to maintain that upgrade advantage. The thing is, if he runs into a ton of Banelings and loses like all 17 of these Banelings, there's not a lot that can survive that. I think the Archons can just, but like, they won't have a lot left. Yes. Yes, he's definitely in a good position, kitten. Good. So, sorry, I'm getting nuzzled aggressively by a cat. So at this point, actually, oh my god, Abathoor just dodges around that one stasis trap very effectively. Now, going in against these guys in a choke is rarely a good plan. Especially when they have a shield battery behind them. But if you do enough damage... Yeah. Stasis Trap's going to wear off soon, so there's some more Banelings to come through. And now would be a really good time to push those Banelings to the front. Not going to lie, the Zealots are so extra. I think it must be a thing about psychic units. They tend to get a bit extra when they die. Also, turn around and blast that Archon. Just turn around, bright eyes, every now and then you kill that Archon. Why are you running? Kill it! Kill it! There you go. Easy. Hey, buddy. So, Abathur's in a reasonable position here. He's got the economic lead. But, he's not pressing his luck too. That's a lot of Banelings. The thing is, Banelings can roll through a storm. And they don't care how many hit points they have when they explode in your face. So... Lurkers coming out, because you can, and also getting the upgrade for the Zerglings that make them competitive in the late game. Also, I'm not gonna lie, I would not go up this ramp. But, hey, Abathur has different plans, apparently. And yeah, that was a decent kill count on those workers. 8 workers went down, putting them down to not quite half, but getting there. And actually, the splash damage from the Protoss there is just not getting applied. Oh, good detection there. Means he kills that Lurker without really losing that much to it. Clearing out the creep is nice. If Abathur can catch this army in the middle of the field, it dies immediately. It is not a big or powerful army. I mean, there's some power units in it, but just a wave of small units surrounding and crushing it to kill every one of them. The thing is, Abathur is maxed, so it pays for Abathur to go in. Also, Abathur getting a little bit of a tech upgrade here. Giving him the ability to tech switch into something that will do more. Especially since his opponent has short range, ground only, ground only, ground only, and a few units that can shoot air. So if he decides to just tech switch into Broodlords at a random point in the future, it's going to be very, very difficult for NameLessKing to be able to respond to that. Especially given that he's spending most of his gas already. Is Zergling run by happening? You actually need to send it in, Abathur. I'm not sure what this attack is meant to be, but it's working. The thing is, having done that, Abathur can now go in at this other side here and kill this... Well, no, probably not kill this base. Because, yeah, it's probably not going to happen. The Protoss army pushing out into the field, actually larger for once than his opponents. Upgrades coming up to even. That one Lurker and a bunch of Spine Crawlers, the only defense that's really necessary, apparently. Okay, I just got bitten. Ugh. So this base, I think, is probably dead. I say that as it dies. I'm so good at this. Oh, you can survive a hit from one of those. The Banelings come rolling in and don't really do as much as they could. Actually, the disruptor's being killed off very quickly here. But the Protoss army is still pushing through. This base is dead. I think if Abathur can't pull together a serious force and do some damage to this, or switch into those Broodlords we mentioned earlier. Why is the Overlord farm going this way for you? Oh no, Abathur's going to be hard supply block now. Oh, that's terrifying and horrible. He's doing his best, but this Protoss army is just a death ball, and he doesn't have any Broodlords to fight it with. There's an Archon that could be sniped there. More Zealots warping in on the near side, though, means that this is going to be difficult to deal with, even if he does. Even if he has the units, I don't think he does. And again, the full surround is there, but unfortunately, There's just so much Protoss power here that he doesn't have the capacity to fight, and unfortunately that looks like game. Here we are, map number 2. Playing for our pack, it is Abathoor. And his opponent, the Ronin from the northwest. It is in fact the Nameless King. So, based on what we saw in the last one, if you don't want to sit there and let me do my thing, why do you bite me? Oh well. In the bottom right hand corner we're going to see the same thing I think as we saw in the last game. Excuse me a second. Okay, apparently the technical problems have stopped. Wonder what that was. So, yeah, I mean, again, we're probably going to see the same sort of thing. A wall off with a gateway to start with, and then the Nexus will go down once he sees he's not being cheesed. The question is, what could Abathoor have done against that last fight? I think if he'd made a couple of Broodlords, I think he didn't need to make 3 or 4 to make a real difference, but yeah, he could have cut that army to shreds by throwing 3 units at it for a while. The question is, will he try and do it slightly earlier this time? Because Broodlords are an expensive thing, and he didn't have the Greater Spire yet. He had 2 Spires, but no Greater Spire. And I think basically Nameless King just caught him off guard before he could tech switch. Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, the thing is, it's, as far as I'm concerned, this game is not over either way. We could see this go both ways. The question is, the question is, the statement is, it's all on Abathoor to make that happen. Like, he has to make a difference from what happened in the last game. Otherwise, he's just going to end up struggling in the same way. So, how is he going to adapt? Well, I mean, he is a Zerg player. That's what they're supposed to do. No gas being collected, though. So, he's definitely switching up. Going for a quicker third. In comes the fight. In come the Zerglings to try and deal with this pylon. It's annoying, but it doesn't delay that much. There we go. And it was a kill, not a cancel, which is interesting, because normally you'd expect the Protoss to just keep a vague eye and then cancel that just before it was done, so he could get the money back, basically. Protoss getting Zealot legs to start with. Again, Abathoor knows that this is happening. He doesn't necessarily know which of the 2 possible upgrades it is, and even the fact that he's seen a Stalker doesn't mean it's not Zealot legs. In fact, you potentially would assume that it was Zealot legs rather than assuming anything else. Until you see the sort of Stalker start. What is this? Oh, that was a fake out. What? What? Thing is, I don't think Abathoor's going to miss it. I think Abathoor's going to see it, because I don't think this Overlord will die in time. And if he can clock what that is, and realize that the health bar is too high. No, Abathoor, why?
Brood under attack.
You had
Anytime.
it. No, why, Abathoor? Why? You missed it. No. Okay, he's dead. He's dead. He is absolutely 100% dead at this point. Why didn't you check the back of his base? No. Oh, that would have changed everything if he'd just seen this one building. If the Dark Shrine had been seen with its massive Dark Templar faces on it. Look at that. Look at those faces. If he'd seen the Dark Templar faces, he might have been able to know that there would be Dark Templar faces coming in that he wouldn't be able to see. You know, that would be really funny, actually. There's an upgrade you need for the Dark Shrine to make the Dark Shrine invisible. That would be amazing. And yeah, 2 DTs coming in, 3 DTs coming in already, 1 for every base. Oh, but he's got spore crawlers down, I suppose. That's something. Queen's life is saved. And sacrificing his workers to protect the mineral line, as it were. Thing is, Abathoor's losing a ton of workers for this. There we go. 9 workers went down for that, and there is still a DT in the area. Question is, what's your opponent sacrificed to get that kind of combat power out? And what he sacrificed is everything. Go kill him. Get yourself some detection and go kill him. This is the point at which you get your detection together and go kill him, I guess? I don't know. Oh no! Why is he leaving the main exposed? No! I mean, it's a way. It's certainly a way. Also, does he have a lair? Yeah, he has a lair. So at this point, the good plan would be mobile. There it is. There's the mobile detection we needed. The thing is, Abathoor is still behind economy-wise, and he's still on the same number of bases, which is not what you want to be as a Zerg. You want to be a base ahead. You want to be a base up. Also, there's a dude here, which you can now smell. Or rather, you could. Now you can't, because you've gone out of range. Oh well. The thing is, those what's the word? Those DTs did their job. Like they put Abathoor behind by enough that he's still economically a little bit screwed. This is why NameLessKing has had the economy lead for a while now, and while Abathoor is seeking to redress that balance, oh, it's still there. The Warp Prism is still in town. Actually, if he goes too close, if he goes too far in, no, he's just going to make a couple of DTs and drop them. Okay, that's when you decide to turn around and go home again. The thing is, the roaches are not going to have burrowed movement for a while. I know they're going to have burrowed movement any second now, so they might just be able to sneak into the main and kill a lot of stuff. Which is what he's planning on doing, clearly. Which, by the way, I love it. I love it so much. Unfortunately, there's too much stuff happening in the main for Abathoor to be able to pull that off right now. Oh no, he's pushing it away. He's pushed the button, he's going in. What are they attacking? Oh, it's a roach, okay. Some worker damage going down on the Protoss side though. Some worker damage going down on this part of the Protoss side, and now he sees the DT shrine. The thing is, this is actually doing a lot of damage, like an actual lot. I would take the Dark Shrine now if I was you, mate. The main base is nice, but like, wow. That was actually a brutal attack there, and it's entirely possible that NameLessKing is sitting there going, the hell just happened? 17 probes just died? Yeah. Turns out he's got borrowed movement. The thing is, they've got good healing while they're underground, so he's just microing them away. I love it. I love it so much. There's still burrowed roaches in the main. But there are cannons going down now, so yeah, that's not happening again. The thing is, it's forced at least... It's forced a bunch of money to be spent on cannons that otherwise wouldn't have been needed. Just to make sure that this shit doesn't happen again. Abathoor pulled a fast one there. That was pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty good. And at that point, if you weren't paying attention, you might not realize what just happened there. They burrowed again. I mean, the roaches should know that they're dead. So it's going to go for some worker kills. Yep, another 9 workers go down. That's pretty bad for... What are you looking at? It's pretty bad for our Protoss. Nameless getting more workers going down. Where's that happening? Must have been over here. A pylon going down. Presumably there will be a cannon next to it because honestly he doesn't want to leave that observer there forever. So... Oh, more attacks going in the main. And Abathoor responding in a prompt manner, pulling people away. He's only lost a couple of workers. The thing is, right now, what Abathoor really needs is something to get rid of that warp prism. Because the warp prism is just annoying right now. Actually, what would be really good would be having one of these overlords over here, because he'd get a little bit more advanced warning that he was about to get hit by the warp prism. In fact, just having something next to the warp prism to chase it away. Dark Templar, da 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 da. And the DT's focused in, and it doesn't get what it wanted. No. La, 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 la. Okay, Hydralisk's also good for the purpose. But putting a Spore Crawler at the back here would reinforce a lot of stuff. Just putting a Spore Crawler there. You know, just there. Just there. That circle's not big enough to reach on this side, so we're probably safe, I guess. I say we. He is probably safe. The thing is, this army is another power army. It's a big, big, big ball of stuff. And as soon as that army gets engaged on, this warp prism's going to go in the back and try and do some poking. And there it is. There it is. There it is. The thing is that the Protoss army that's attacking is too goddamn big to be ignored. So he's sending the mamas after him. Sending in the queens. Whereas this army is going to go for a surround. It's actually pretty bad. Oh, that was pretty nasty. And that Protoss army got hit from 2 sides at the same time and may have been wiped out to a man, which is why it got recalled. That was brutal by Abathoor there. Absolutely incredible engagement. Thing is, this is the maths of it. If you engage from 2 sides at once, you take less damage than because the enemy's only putting it out in like half as much of a direction. They can't concentrate fire if you're spread out. The thing is, right now, Abathoor's, I think, overcommitting 2 workers again. I think you only need 70 odd, and he's making another 12. This might be enough. I think he needs to stop here. But that's fine. He did, hopefully. Because once you get to about 80 workers, you need 120 army supply to be able to contest the map most of the time. What the hell is that? No, seriously, what the hell is that? The jellyfish of some kind. In any case, 44 Zerglings on the map because Abathoor wants to max out and then go kill something. Actually, let's have a quick look at the income graph. Yeah, Abathoor's doing pretty well for himself this way. Ben's coming up, which should actually be quite useful. The one thing Abathoor is missing, and I think it will cost him dearly in the long run, no air units. So these Colossi are going to be very difficult to deal with. Unless they're at the front, in which case, you know, they'll be quite easy to deal with. Yeah, some Corruptors would be amazing right about now. And yeah, don't get me wrong, the Lurkers are great, but the Corruptors would be able to deal with the fact that there are 6 Colossi on the field right now. And they need to be killed. But there are no Corruptors available. Can he not make them? Is there a detector over this army? Does not appear that there is. Oh no, there is no detection over this army. Now there's detection over this army. Where are the Corruptors, Abathoor? What do you need, in fact, to make Corruptors? I thought you just needed a I don't know, maybe does he have a Spire? Got his Lurker Den. But seriously, Abba, you've seen 6 Colossi on the field. Now would be a great time to invest in a couple of air units. A couple of long-range air units that can just do some jobs. Also, splitting his army, interesting choice. I mean, if he goes for another surround the way he did the last one, that'd be amazing. But he needs to actually do it. Getting straight in under the Colossi with that Lurker. That one Lurker is in the midst of the pack. But that did not pay off. Oh, ho, 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 ho! That's trading. The thing is, Abathoor! Air units, my god! And the ball doesn't detonate because the thing died first. The disrupted got killed first. Make some! My god, man! Make corruptors! If you can take that Archon out, that was worth it, I think. Okay. Oh, actually, no. You know what? 11 workers is still 11 workers. Abathoor is immune to the idea of making corruptors. Abathoor will not make corruptors under any circumstances, apparently. There are 6 Colossi on the field. There are still 6 Colossi on the field. Make the counter unit. Make something that can fly in close. He's got no anti-air. Make some anti-air, Abathoor. What are you doing? Oh my god. The thing is, there's not much... there's not much AoE here, but, like, there is. And the Protoss army gets crushed into dust. Well, no, not quite, actually. I'm entirely wrong. The Protoss army gets crushed into something very vaguely approximating dust, and then the remnants of it choke the Zerg to death because he refuses to make a unit that makes sense. I don't know, man. I don't know what the point is here, but I don't know what point I'm trying to make here is. Oh my god, the queens are dead. Bury it! The lurker! Bury the lurker! Bury the lurker! Okay, he's dead. He's a dead lurker, but at least he got buried. So this Protoss army is going to get chased away. I'm not sure this is the greatest place to bury lurkers, though. Oh, maybe. Feels like that could maybe be useful, I guess. Ow. 22 drones just went down somewhere. Let's look for an empty base. I don't know. One lurker died instead of 3. Thing is, Abathoor is winning this by brute force, and he doesn't care about the trading results. The ball didn't detonate because the disruptor didn't live long enough to make it happen. There's GG. And we're not going to mention anything to Abathoor in the bottom left-hand corner. Triumphant in the last game, but wasn't up to it in the first. Can he keep his form? It's Abathoor. Or will he be swept aside by the Nameless King we know only as NameLessKing, I guess. I guess that's a thing. I guess that's a thing for the Nameless King. Bum 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 ba da 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 dum. Okay. So. And again, I imagine we'll probably see fairly similar openings again. Essentially, because the build has worked for both of them at least once on in this best of 3. Yeah. There's no reason not to use it. The thing is, neither player is particularly cheesinating this time. The natural's gone down. Probe's coming in to check it, and is going to be like, yeah, the natural's gone down. Let's move on. He won't see the exact timing of the spawning pool, but he'll know roughly what it was, given how big the thing is and how far along the health bar is. It's one of those things where it's not an exact science, because the building starts with a small amount of health anyway. But yeah, it's all good. He will have a vague idea. And if Abathoor goes through the same procedure of not making a single corruptor in this game, I'm going to ask him questions about it later. Back in this base, now that we've seen the natural go down because he didn't need to rush, the cybernetics course followed it. And I imagine we'll see a pylon in the main, just to basically give him somewhere to build that isn't on the front line. Like that. The thing is, Abathoor missed the DT shrine by a fraction last time. I said fraction. He missed it by a couple of hexes. If he hadn't done that, if he hadn't, what's the word? If he hadn't altered the course of the Overlord, and in this case, will he see it? I don't think he's going to see that. Maybe. The thing is, he's going to get into the base. He's going to be able to see some stuff. The question is, will he be able to see that? I don't know. It's going to be very close. Oh yeah, he sees it. And he clicks it too, so he knows he's up against the robo build. And that Overlord is dead. But the Overlord saw the thing. And right now, that's the important thing. And it's entirely possible that Abathoor might be able to give the impression that he missed that. Maybe. The thing is, if we're looking at Robo first, we're not necessarily looking at anything like Dark Shrine, because you wouldn't make the Robo first. You'd make something that requires Robotech. There we go. Yeah, you'd make the... If you were going to go with DT drops again, you'd make the Dark Shrine. Or at least the... you'd make the prerequisite buildings for the Dark Shrine first, rather than trying to make the Robo and then build up towards the Dark Shrine afterwards. Because you want those things to hit at the same time, not staggered. Twilight Council, that's the word. I just had a moment there. I'm just getting old, I think. So, at some point, Abathoor's already kicking out his second round of queens, which will in fact just be creep queens for the most part. Like, the queens that are there already will be the ones that inject, and then after that, everything else is dedicated to spreading creep all the way across the map, making the place look as zergy as possible. So, yeah, the base is fairly solidly walled in. He can go for a third if he really wants to, but this is and it's a bit of a weird one to defend because, apart from anything else, what we've seen in the past is people put a gas geyser here and micro a worker backwards and forwards between the minerals and the gas, swapping over what they're carrying. That's a dead probe. But yeah, the micro trick is you swap between minerals and gas and minerals and gas and minerals and gas until you mine that mineral patch out. And it's only got 5 minerals in it in this case. Oh, hello. Okay. This is a build. I'm genuinely curious about how well this is going to work. Because at least initially, you might not realize it's there. If he drops it in the darkness here and fires the ball into the main, Abathoor could genuinely have a moment of, oh god, what is this? And Abathoor might genuinely, if he took a half second to look at that, might genuinely be like, what just happened? But he now knows, and he now knows he's up against the Robo build. When he knew that anyway, I suspect he wasn't expecting this though. The question is, if since we're seeing an emphasis on Colossus production, are we going to see... Oh my god, what is this? Oh, we are seeing at least these logos. This logo, rather. I don't know. Yep, 5 more workers dead. 5 more workers dead. No, only 1 more. The thing is, he can almost rapid fire that. And it's incredibly good harassment. The infestation pit coming down. I think it's entirely possible Abathoor's just like, I'm sick of this, and the only solution I can think of involves fungal growthing the warp prism. Not gonna lie. I feel like there's an easier solution to this problem. Also, I love the fact that the lore behind Colossi is that there was a time in the ancient history where Colossi were a thing, and then it was determined that these were too horrifying because they were setting things on fire. So we'll just go back to stabbing people with energy blades like sensible human beings. I don't know, man. I don't know. But there are Colossi on the build, Hydralisks on the way. And the Hydralisk will suffer horribly if the Colossi catch them off guard. Or, in fact, if they just engage them at all, they're going to do some horrible damage to them, because it turns out lines of splash damage are good. Incidentally, apparently the Stormgate 3rd faction is being teased soon. Has he just killed another 4 workers? Yeah, he has. Okay. Yeah, you need to have the Spore Crawler all the way over here, which means Creep needs to exist. But hey, it's all good, it's all good. The Infestors are... Well, the Lurkers are out. Infestors? Do we have any Infestors? No! Got 83 workers, though. So, you know, that's the thing. The thing is, with 74 workers, that's 4 bases worth of workers, but you've only got 3 bases there. Because you need 22 workers per base. So, actually, technically 88. So it's a half a base extra, I guess. Another 4 workers die, and the Warp Prison takes damage this time. You know what might be really useful for getting rid of that? Something that can fly. Abathoor? Why? Why, Abba? Why? Why? Oh, okay. Oh! Far too close for both of them, to be fair. But Abathoor seemed to do better out of that. Actually, I don't know. I mean, he's chased the Warp Prison away for now. But the Disruptors are just going to go and join the army. But they're in the army now. They're not behind the plow. You'll not get rich by digging a ditch. You're in the army now, as the song says. Also, the fact that he has enough money to spend on 4 cannons and a shield battery, or 2 shield batteries, is kind of terrifying. But there you go. Now's the time to move them queens away. Otherwise, they're gonna die. You get almost all of them. Goodness me. Yeah, that's a painful thing to have to deal with. Same there, but never mind. I can't help but wonder if, again, Abathoor, like, you've seen your opponent. Actually, he's not dedicated as much effort to Colossi this time. There's only 2 on the field. And we're not seeing any more being built because Disruptors are just good. But having a few, you know, a few Corruptors out might not be the worst thing in the history of the world. What did you need a spire for them? I think you need a spire for them, so you'd have to tech into them. So at this point, possibly not the best of ideas, but... Whoa, very nice. That's the other way to do it. Just pick off the individual units and suck them towards your army. It's actually a really good way of dealing with Disruptors as well. Oh, unless you do that! Flashing the Zerglings in front of him to make him go away. Oh, that was a solid hit, and it's fortunate for Abathoor it takes more than 1 hit to kill a Lurker, but unfortunately it takes, you know, 1 more hit. Yeah, you do need a spire for the Corruptors, but it would be worth it, I feel. Especially given that Abathoor has 5,000 minerals and 41 lava that he could spend right now. Oh wait, no he can't. He needs to trade. Now he trades. Okay, that's fine. And at this point, this army might be in genuine trouble. Oh, that's nasty. Like, he's going to lose a bunch of them because they're clustered up. If there was a way, if only there was some way of picking off the air units, picking off the flying units with something that could only shoot air. Oh no, though. Storm coming in as well, and it looks like that might be GG for Abathoor. His entire army just disappeared. That said, he got some good hits in there. Goodness. I mean, he's gonna lose all these lurkers eventually, but actually, no, I stand entirely corrected. Abathoor has spent his money and spent his lava and remaxed immediately, and he still has 5,000 minerals left. I'm just genuinely impressed by that. That was pretty good. Whereas the Protoss army is now half the size. If Abathoor can keep the pressure on, bearing in mind he is currently at maxed out, so now is the time where you trade. Yeah, no, you don't want to stay there. Again, some kind of siege unit might be a really good idea at this point, but we'll see what happens. The Zerglin's coming in to try and pin some of the army down, and oh, that's nasty! Valen's coming in while everything is clumped and just wiping out a bunch of units. Thing is, Abathoor doesn't care about going for what's actually what's the army itself. The army isn't going to win the game. Killing the army isn't how you win the game. This is how you win the game. You kill the bases. And in this case also you kill the army because they dare to come close enough. The problem is all the units that are here now are close range. Which means that you can't get into range to kill the lurkers without getting into range of the lurkers. Now it's pretty good actually. Okay, Abathoor. Okay, I stand corrected.